2663. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer.
I know some people have called in and they wonder if the silent prayer is working. And I just want to take a second and to tell them that it works. You just have to stick with it.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I started doing before I even forgave my parents. And I was so depressed and suicidal at some times that I just would have to stop in the middle of my job or whatever I was doing and go into the silent prayer. And it really does help. Like, I don't have those anymore.
Amazing. You haven't seen anything yet. Doubt every thought. Bring every thought into captivity. Just let them all pass. Don't judge them. You haven't seen anything. It gets better and better and better and easier, easier, easier. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Every thought, because you. Isn't Nick a Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home. That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Thank you for tuning. Ooh, amateur moving the mic without pressing the button. How you doing, everybody? Welcome on this fine Wednesday. It's nice to have you here. I'm the American Anchor Baby, and I got a little bit of show for you. A little bit of an easy peasy show for you. They call it Lucy. Some call it Lucy. Some call it Goosey. It's Thanksgiving Eve. I don't know if I've ever really heard that. That sounds like Anchor Baby terminology. I'll tell you that. Maybe that's normal. I've heard even of a term. Now this one sounds smarter to me. Christmas Adam, Thanksgiving Adam. That's one I learned around here. You know, like the day before the eve of the day. But anyways, hey, Adam and Eve, whatever. I thought it was cute. But look. Thanksgiving Eve, if that's the day that you even call it, you're here with me today. I'm the American Anchor Baby, and we're going to take it easy. They call it Lucy and Goosey. Let's run it down, all the stuff that we didn't get into in the week. You know, and I say that with some sadness because, you know, I'm setting it up, okay? I'm not here tomorrow, but I'm back with you Friday. A little funny bit of a week today with the Bond Network. I think you'll have JLP show tomorrow. But then I'll be back Friday for a little fun times, okay? On the day that people are taking off. Okay. That's how it is. So, nice to have you here today, though. Happy Wednesday. Thanksgiving's coming at you. I'm doing it the American way. Where are my Canadians in the chat? Y'all already had it. I've been doing it the American way a couple years now, okay? Okay? I got a couple under my belt. I am the American Anchor Baby, after all. So thank you. We're doing it loosey-goosey. We got a number of things that we just could just get into. Nice to have you all here, though. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Appreciate you tuning in. Punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. What's up? And of course, my people on YouTube. Blah, blah, blah. My people on YouTube, thank you. Appreciate you tuning in. You could call in. That's 888-775-3773. I see some of you on hold. I want to get to you. In fact, yeah, let me know if that line there wants to talk to me. I imagine he held over. But I appreciate callers 888-775-3773. You're confused. You're like, what's the number today, Nick? You had to be different. It's 888-775-3773. Like everybody else on the Bond crew. I'm conforming today, and I'm happy about it. Okay, it's fine. I love it. I actually like the chair. The chair's pretty cool. So I want to get to my calls, my super chatters, and all that. What else? Like the video on your way in. Thanks for the reminder, Jermaine. Don't be rude. Don't be a person of incivility. Is that even a word? Uncivil. You're not civilized, okay? You're coming in like a slob. You're a fat slob, like Trump's called Brandon Johnson, okay? You're a fat slob who's destroying Chicago. You're being a fat slob and not clicking the like button. Do you want to be a fat slob or do you want to be cool? Do you want to be like, okay, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I have the right attitude. I want America to come back. Don't know what'll happen. Where are the signs? I'm not here being a little pretending, living in fantasies, but I'm going to have the right attitude. Which one are you? Going to click the like button or not? Thank you. Leave a little comment. Say hello. I see calls coming in. More calls coming in. You know, I'm running it down my list here, okay? We're taking it easy on this eve before Thanksgiving. We'll have fun on Friday. I'm off tomorrow. At least the show. We're doing JLP. My wife keeps nagging me to not throw away our marriage. This one was funny. And we'll get to calls. And it also gives me a chance to name drop and act cool and say and act nouveau riche. Like I rub shoulders with all of them. I get to do all that, be like, hey, you know, I was talking to Pearl the other day. Can you be fat? Can you be a fat but not a slob? A fine question. There's some rude people here not liking the stream, and Cameron, I appreciate that you're showing some. I gotta say, that's you're showing some moderating attitudes. Okay, keep it up. Your name will be blue. I don't know why I said that. It sounds weird, like enticing someone to be a mod. That's the wrong vibe. I'm messing around. That's the wrong vibe. Hey, Skip, Ivana, Cuz, everybody. I'm seeing you now. So what can I say? I get to say Pearl. I was talking to Pearl. Why? This thread starts off here on X. The Lutheran peasant. My wife keeps nagging me to not throw away our marriage on a boneheaded and objectively evil habit. Entirely within my control, he says. Oh, wait. How do we do this? We need Lil Nick. How do I tell her to submit to me in a Christian way? Okay. Thank you for the decorum. I'm seeing it in the chat. Plenty of decorum. Corporate hierarchy. Yes, I see the decorum in the chat. My wife keeps nagging me to not throw away our marriage on a boneheaded and objectively evil habit entirely within my control. How do I tell her to submit to me in a Christian way? Is this person cooked? Is this a husband? Is it over for him? Chad, is it over? Lutheran pastor, husband and father. What's a Lutherans? Okay. They split off, right? So you got Catholics. Somebody else would be smarter than I on this, right? And then this guy came around, like Martin Luther, not King. That came way later. This guy, Martin Luther, with the funny hat. He's a white man. He was a white man by our standards today, I think. And he went to the Catholics and was like, nah, right? Basically, I know this is crude. He's like, okay, you guys are basically paying your way into heaven, I think. They called it indulgences, I believe. You pay the church some money and you absolve yourself of sin. I could be totally butchering this. And then they meet the Protestants, okay? So, I don't know. They make fun of them now, today. Today, they're like way more official. I mean, what's the word here? Hoity-toity, official, traditional. The Orthodox and Catholics, they look down on the Protestants, right? They're like, sometimes, right? Not all the time. I'm being so crude here, starting fights. Oh my gosh, everybody at the bar's fighting. They don't like they're like, oh, okay, you guys are silly and let women preach and where have your traditions gone? But when I hear about Martin Luther, it's like it sounded like you had a point. It sounded tough. It sounded tough back then. I don't know. I take no sides. It's all so silly. This was so long ago. But but the Luther, why did this even come up? Because this Lutheran peasant, this guy at X, is asking for advice. Is it over? Now, what's this evil habit he's talking about? I too was confused, okay? And then I come to find out in his clarification that he's just joking. It was sarcasm. Did you guys catch it? This is an absolutely outrageous take. If you are watching Korn, we're going to keep it chill, right? The sun is up. The Bambinos are out. It's Thanksgiving. Okay, we're going to keep it we're going to keep it clean maybe, huh? We're going to say cornography. Your wife has every right to nag you about it, the Lutheran peasant says. You are violating the boundaries of the covenant of marriage, as she does not have to sit idly by and put up with it. Oh, he's responding to something. I fell for it. How can I get onto JLP's online bookstore? That's a great question. Jesse Lee Peterson .shop. Scroll to the bottom. Books available for you. Jesse Lee Peterson .shop. Thank you for the attention to that. The Lutheran peasant, he's responding to Pearl. He's saying he's getting in on the pornography conversation. Fellas, Christians. It's suddenly everything got so judgmental. I got to go to confession. I mean, people, that's what y'all are saying, right? I went to confession in the school days, and I'm like, maybe I was a bit on my high horse, but I'm like, that's none of your business, Father. If that's your real name. I went to a Catholic school growing up, and I did not tell them. That was none of their business, I thought. I may have harumphed about it a little bit at that age, but still, I thought it was none of their business. So, okay, the topic, men, white women, married people, pornography. Where is the line? Is it cheating? Are you violating the boundaries of the covenant of marriage? Jeez, it's like suddenly got real stuffy. Everybody got their noses real up high. And she does not have to sit idly by. So this is where I come into this clip, right? Pearly, you might know her. Just Pearly thinks it's Pearl. And she had Jesse on recently. She had Jesse Lee Peterson on recently. We were there actually in Tejas, Texas to do the filming. She was a great host, fantastic host. Just absolutely right. So this was a little controversial clip. It was going around. I had just seen it thanks to the Lutheran peasant. She had on this lady, Lila Grace Rose. Okay, I gather she's this Christian woman. I don't quite remember her. I may have even talked about her or maybe not. Okay, every day there's another Christian woman telling men what to do. There's another conservative woman, actually feminist, telling men what to do. So I feel like I've seen her around on the internet, but she brought her on. The clip is like tense. It's a little contentious. Pearl is trying to, from what I gather, trying to get her show under control. In her estimation, she's getting steamrolled by her guests, and she's resorted to muting her. But the exchange is fascinating. The topic is whatever. I mean, maybe it's not a Thanksgiving Eve topic, but it's loosey-goosey enough, right? Check this out. The exchange was interesting. We'll do calls. We'll do our thing here. We're just running it down the list today. They didn't make the cut earlier, but I think you'll find them interesting. Pearly, marriage, men, porn. Let's watch. I hope I have this unmuted. I do not have this unmuted. Pain for which there ain't no ointment. Okay, here we go.
Morality. It's not like there's a special morality just for men when it comes.
Here we go.
It's not like men are given advice that is not on morality. It's not like there's a special morality just for men when it comes to sex and a special morality for women. The sexual morality that we're given, not by me, not by you, by God and natural law, God's natural law, and also you can see it through divine revelation and the tradition of the church, is a morality for both men and women, married and unmarried. And its core is chastity, which is virtue. Men are called to it and women are called to it. And when men aren't living virtue or women aren't living in virtue, both of them can become increasingly haywire. We hurt each other. Then the war of the sexes commences.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Did you guys tune around too? My bad, Lila Grace Rose.
God and natural law, God's natural law, and also
we kind of just come into this, right?
You can see it through divine revelation and the tradition of the church, is a morality for both men and women, married and unmarried. And its core is chastity, which is virtue. Men are called to it and women are called to it. And when men aren't living virtue or women aren't living in virtue, both of them can become increasingly haywire. We hurt each other. Then the war of the sexes commences.
Classic little thing that happens with this virtue thing. Okay, they're talking about marriage, especially if it's like morality. Okay, you get into this morality talk. Everybody wants to say this is moral or that, and they are this or that moral person or something. But whatever. The point here is there's the stretching of the word virtue. Okay, this is a classic little thing that happens. Virtue. It's like she's connected virtue to the design, right? This plan. So God has a plan for us to be virtuous. If you're not virtuous, you're not living like that. You're gonna have problems. You're gonna have the war between the sexes. But this virtue, it's like nice big umbrella term. The virtue is not just this. In this context, it's being in accordance with God, right? With the plan, etc. But remember, the conversation here is just about like porn and chastity. Hold on, that's the only variable here. That's what gets lost in these things, right? And I mean, I'm sure everybody does it. Everybody wants to absolve themselves, blame others, but it's a classic thing women do, right? Virtue, well, yeah, you got to be chaste, and it's like that's the only thing. So funny that's the thing that's tough for men, easy for women. What about the other things? What about the things that are tough for you? Obeying, repenting, admitting you're wrong, being obedient. I mean, I have to repeat that. Like it's like doing something even you don't want to do, or not allowed to do something because you're a woman and he's the man. Like putting it that bluntly, and it's like I don't like that. Well, where's your virtue? Anyways, being long-winded. Let's watch this. Let's keep it going.
So speaking against porn is not just about men. It's about men and women.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that
I was talking to Pearl the other day. She was telling me, not the other day, but when we went to Texas, we texted a little bit. She told me about, we were rubbing shoulders, you know how I be. She was telling me some stats, something like 90, something crazy, % of men, something crazy. I think it makes more, let me remember, not that 90% watch porn or something, but that they have. Something like that. That's a little bit more believable, I think. But I know it's up there.
You will lose more people than you help because no men want to be nagged by women about what they should and shouldn't do. And as I've said before, any woman that tells men what to do is a feminist because you are applying that you have authority and you are equal. And I don't think you are.
That's really the whole argument here. That's why I'm playing this. You could say what you want about Pearl, this woman, this and that little detail. This is really the crux right here. The place, the order, the natural order of things. You could be right about this. You'd be like, Porn's wrong though, Nick. A woman has no place in even bringing this up. Take that in. Hold on.
You are applying that you have authority and you are equal. And I don't think you are. So I would say we are subordinates.
Well, I think men and women are made equal in dignity before God, and they're both made in the image of God.
Do you believe in the
But
natural? Do you believe in the natural order?
If I can ask
It
you,
gets a little spicy, maybe.
Would it be okay if I ask you a question?
Do you believe in the natural order of the world?
I absolutely do. Would it be okay if I asked you a
so
question?
that would be a hierarchy, correct?
It includes order and hierarchy. Yes, I agree with that.
So again, it just goes back to the same question. The war of the sexes, I would say, is women challenging men's authority. And I would argue that you are the same as a blue-haired feminist. Because by nagging
this is so good. I mean, I should be jumping in and all that, but Pearl, take it away. Jeez.
Telling men what to do, you are doing the same thing. You are implying that you are equal, which is what feminism fought for. So,
I'm trying to remember a number of things we were getting into, and Pearl's funny. She's blunt. She's very blunt, and it's refreshing. I appreciate it. We were talking about a number of ideas she had, like how men get groomed. She was saying, she's like, oh man, there's all this groom. They talk about these porn stars. I mean, corn stars. Jeez. Hello. And they do these naughty films, and they say they get groomed. Oh no, they get groomed into it, and that it's just like such a mess because poor women that get groomed into this. If only these, right? And she's like, no, men get groomed into watching it because it's like they parade it around. If women wanted to end it, if it was such a terrible thing, and women wanted to end it tomorrow, they could. She was telling me. Thought that was interesting because they participate. And I was telling her I got my chance to tell her what I was telling you guys some time ago. It was with all this sex trafficking talk. There's something that always gets left out is the integral role women have to play in everything from sex work to sex trafficking to I don't know what you call it. They're integral. What's that word? Somebody knows it better than I. You can't do it without them. Okay? Willing women. The classic brothel queen, mother prostitute, whatever you call it. It's a thing, okay? Look at it. The UN reported on this. I'm not making it up. That when they used to make maybe more sense, maybe a little bit, a long time ago. But what was I saying? This is the commentary that's kind of like throws everybody off, right? Anybody can say, "Oh, corn, it's bad. You shouldn't do it." I don't know. It's women. It's exploitation. I don't know. You're married. I don't know what the things are there. I mean, morality, ethics, and all that. Like, it's hard to even make sense of all that. I have to just be real personal with it and be like, well, why is it bad? Good. For me, kind of, if I had to come up with a reason, I wouldn't go around arguing with people on this. Like, they get high and mighty, like they have some morality over you, like. So I wouldn't like try and convince people, but if I had to, it's like, why? If you're not arguing with someone, but someone really asks you advice, it's just a debasement of self. I don't know if you noticed, but it's a lack of control. It's a lack of self-control. It's a lack of something dark about it. It's something dark spiritually. There's something unconscious. That's really, if I had to like give you a reason. If someone out there's looking for a reason, Nick, so convince me. I need a real reason not to. I don't know what you need. But yeah, the commentary here is like on the order, right? It's like, but women going around, they should never even bring it up. They shouldn't even bring it up. What was it? I remember, what is it? I said to her, I was saying something like, okay, I agree with you, Pearl. I mean, I think personally, they shouldn't have a movement. They shouldn't go get up on a church and talk about it. But, you can like say it. You can have your opinion, right? And she was like tougher on this topic than I in that moment. I'm like, Pearl, what do you think about that? She's like, no, men get better. This is just telling me. She's like, men get better with time. Just leave them alone. They get better with time because they have guilt. What did she say? She said something like about guilt and like conscious. I don't. But I let it go in one ear out the other, right? But it was interesting, no? Don't you agree? And that women with that left to their own devices go nuts. So leave them alone. It's not even your place. Fascinating. Nagging them. It's, there's something wrong about that. Like men are the only ones violating this marriage covenant as the Lutheran peasant husband on the X with terrible advice is like, I don't know if that's violated. Is she violating it when she doesn't obey? You know what I'm saying? So anyways, enough about that. I had some of the commentary people had on it that you guys might find interesting. Because I got some callers here I want to get to. Let me see here. Because it's definitely not, like, I already said it already. I already gave you my reasoning as to why I would advise against it. It's for sure. That's almost like, it's almost obvious to men without having to say it. I don't know how to explain it. That it's wrong. This is what I'm getting at. Back to the corn thing. Something. And it's not the women. It's not like abusing women or because I'm cheating on my wife or something. No, it's like, I don't know, way closer to your heart, like what you're really about. Like when Jesus was telling you, if you even lust, you've committed adultery or whatever. It's in your heart. And you're like giving into something. You're giving into something. I think men can understand that. So if you needed a reason, I'm not here telling you, hey, ladies, back off. He can watch all he wants. Like, I'm just telling you to back off. It's not your place. And it's controversial because the women get so mad about this one. I'm trying to show you some comments. I know that they didn't like that. They didn't like that. Did we even watch the full clip there? Because it devolves a bit. It devolves
The sexual morality that
is authority. And I would argue that you are the same as a blue hair.
Shall we just finish? Because I wanted to say something. It's like, it's my show here. Pearl, take it away. Geez, right? So I wanted to say something. But here.
I agree with that.
So again, it just goes back to the same question. The war of the sexes, I would say, is women challenging men's authority. And I would argue that you are the same as a blue-haired feminist. Because by nagging and telling men what to do, you are doing the same thing. You are implying that you are equal, which is what feminism fought for. So anyways, I will unmute you, but I do want to show that you are also interrupting me. So
yeah, Pearl, muting your guests is a very disrespectful thing to do.
Okay, and I'm going to do it again. Yeah, again, you can nag these simps. You can't nag me. All right,
I don't know how much she's muting me. So if she's just going to keep muting me,
right, it devolved. That's why I stopped there. I remember now.
No, there's a point of being able to have a discussion.
Okay.
So I don't know how much she's joking
it's
about
just drama
muting me
now.
constantly. I don't know. I don't see her muting, so I don't know how much she's doing it. But it might make sense to not have the conversation if she can't have it in good faith. It's a really bad faith conversation if she's just going to mute.
I'm having a good faith. The problem is, here's the challenge. Actually,
can you hear me? Am I muted or not?
You get to go on
right,
these. You go on these shows and you do
go 50% volume, right,
and you're
fellas?
kind of used to doing it. So it's again.
Pearl, can you hear me right now?
Can you hear me right now?
Pearl, are you listening? Can you hear me? Okay.
I do hear you.
If you
I think there's
continue
nothing
to
else
mute me,
from
I don't
this.
even know
I
when
think that's all we could get.
you're muting me or not. I'm not going to be able to have a conversation with you. I don't think you're acting in good faith.
I'm always.
Oh yeah, she goes like harder, just mutes her again. It's kind of funny. Okay. Thank you, Pearl. Okay. So you guys have the deets, all the rumor mills and BS. It's like, are they right or are they wrong? Debating is such a waste. So true. It's like, are they right or are they wrong? Was it interesting what they said? It's like Pearl's this or that. Or hey, she made lemon poppy muffins for JLP and I. Maybe I've just been charmed. No, I'm joking. Obviously not. You guys are so the people being rude. It's obviously wrong. Very unchristian. But moving on here, I want to get to look at you. We got callers, we got a couple of things to do here. Let's keep it moving. Let's not spend too much time on one thing. We're running it down the list and there's plenty on it. So happy Wednesday. And all that. I think we got Dennis, New Jersey, on the air. I appreciate your call. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Anchor Baby? How are you?
What's up, Dennis? All is well.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I was going to get to the topic before I got to there. You know, I know that you're of Hispanic heritage. What do you think about Thanksgiving, being that, you know, your bloodline is a native Indian heritage, and, you know, what happened in between, you know, the Pilgrims and the Indians when you lost your land and stuff like that?
The Pilgrims. I just like say it like that. Wait. That's like now you're kind of stretching that a bit. Am I supposed to feel all like native Indian all of a sudden? How come that makes me a native Indian guy too?
You're not native Indian? I thought you were. I mean, I know that Hispanics are a
Hispanic?
mixture of, like, you're not Hispanic?
Yeah, but I mean, doesn't that mean like a lot of different things? I can get like an Argentinian, you can get like a Brazilian, you can get like a number of things, and you can't just say they're all. So all these Hispanics were victims of the white man colonizing in America, and I'm supposed to feel a way about it for Thanksgiving.
You speak Spanish because the Spaniards came and colonized your land in you know, in South America, right? In Central America, right?
Where? You mean America?
Yeah, the Spaniards, you know, I mean, if you're Hispanic, I understand you might be a mixture of Spanish people or European Spanish, but also you have some native Indian blood in you.
How you know that?
I'm asking you.
You asked me. I don't know. I don't think so. I forget what I've shared my DNA. I don't suggest people spit in the tube and do the DNA thing, but I did it before. I was smart, and so I share it with my viewers. I forget if it said anything like native like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just wondering what you thought about it. If it doesn't really concern you or bother you, that's just interesting. Something I thought was interesting.
Not really. I mean, look, not at all. In fact, some of that history, it's like we're not even getting it right here. We're totally hazy on it. What a silly thing to be mad about. Central America has been the same Central America since I was born. And for you.
No, I ain't saying you had to be mad about it, but you don't have to
America
think,
borders have been the same for you and
Thanksgiving.
I since we've been born too. So, are you saying that they should change? Are you saying that the borders today should be different, sir?
I just know that they have like Indian Heritage Day or something like that instead of Thanksgiving Day sometimes.
I thought Thanksgiving was about America.
No, Thanksgiving. If you look into the history of Thanksgiving, it actually started out as a Roman Catholic holiday, and the Pilgrims brought it over here. It was supposed to like a celebration of the harvest or something like that. Then they brought it to America,
like before America. I think I heard some of that stuff too, harvest festivals and stuff. But Thanksgiving, as we know it in America, isn't that about America? Or am I tripping?
Yeah. I mean, there's different Thanksgivings. They have a Thanksgiving in America. They have like similar harvest or Thanksgiving holidays in Europe too, but they might be on a different day.
But Thanksgiving in America is about the Pilgrims, right? And it's like the Americans, and they were like, "Hey, Pilgrim," and then they like ate food, right? And it's like, I'm on the right track,
the thing
right?
Is the Pilgrims were starving to death into the native Indians. Showed them how to.
I heard that they became friends. So, I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, I'm rocking with Thanksgiving. You?
Yeah, I mean, this is a time for us to get together with my family and eat some dinner and stuff like that. That's a good time.
I'm rocking with Thanksgiving, America. Thank you, white man. Thank you for creating America. That's how I'm feeling. I'm glad we're on the same page. Nice.
Yeah. God, you love that money.
Huh?
I said you love that money, huh?
I'm missing it.
Yeah. Well,
what do you mean by I love that money?
Well, you said something about a paid holiday, right?
I didn't say paid holiday. I said thank you to the white man or something about creating America.
Oh, my bad. I
And
thought
that
you
we
said
were on
paid
the same
holiday.
page, and I'm fist bumping you through the air right now because I'm realizing what you're saying, and we're on the same page now. So yeah, we're both rocking with Thanksgiving, family, America, white man, the creators of America. I was just trying to figure out where you're coming from here, but okay, cool. What's your question or comment?
Oh yeah, the Christian comment. You know, I wanted to ask you about the Trump administration, what you did of it so far, but before that, about the porn or the quorum. I mean, of
Totally.
course, it's immoral. You know, of course, it's immoral. You know, the object is for a man and a woman to come together and start a family and have children and stuff. And if, as a man, if your objects are different from that when it comes to a woman, then yeah, that is a what do you call it? A perversion of what it means to be a man. You know. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a problem here in the United States. Maybe you know, the world's gotten so easy where you can go and look at a naked woman, you know, just by, you know, a stroke of your finger on your computer or something like that. But, you know, I think it's natural for a man to be attracted to, you know, the body of a woman. You know, I think that's, you know, we were designed that way. But, you know.
Has our nature been hacked in a sense, though?
Yeah, it appears that way. You know, I mean, if we didn't have a natural attraction to the woman's body, then of course, you know, humans would go extinct. So yeah, it's been hacked and perverted, you know, to a point where as though it's not working the way it should be. Woman, you know, you're supposed to see a woman, marry a woman, and have children with a woman. That's the way it's supposed to go. I mean,
Yeah, and the way I'm going with it is like if something like you say, because you called it's natural for a man to be attracted, but I think it's quite unnatural how we're operating lately. And I think where we can agree is that your natural, so to speak, has been hacked. You know, it's like salt, sugar, and it's salt and sugar. These are things in nature originally hard to find, but you know, your body likes it. It's dense energy. But no, now you make chips. Now you create chips, and it's like now you're just having too much of it. It's the same thing with. It's natural to like sodium and sugar. Maybe it's natural to be sexually attracted to things, but it's been hacked. And so we got to be super aware of ourselves.
Yeah, just
it's like you're
you know,
giving in.
your
That's really where I
ancestors.
see if we had to call it. That's why I don't like. If we had to call it immoral, fine. I could tell you a reason not to do it, but immoral. It's like now I start sounding like these Christians and people who think they know what's right and wrong. I mean, I'm not trying to get too off the beaten path though, because I do generally agree. But go ahead. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it's just like your ancestors in Central America. You know, they used to chew on the cocoa plants. You know, as a medicinal means, it was kind of like, you know, a mild stimulant that they used, you know, help them work, stay awake.
What did it help them do?
It didn't help them numb pain, but once you turn it into powder and add a bunch of chemicals to it, then it turns into a potent drug. So yes, when you take something natural that, you know, our humans use naturally, and then turn it into something more potent and make it unnatural, then yeah, it becomes, you know, a problem like cocaine is in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Side note, though, I bet you that's the oldest excuse in the book. Totally side note. But I bet you as soon as they found pot or like tobacco or something, they're like, this is medicinal. And they probably came up with that one as early as they found stuff like that. But hey, I know what you're saying, sir, and I can somewhat agree. My ancestors.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mild stimulant.
Keep bringing up my ancestors.
It ain't no different than caffeine and chocolate, cocoa beans,
I guess.
or tea.
Who are your ancestors? You keep bringing up my ancestors.
Oh, I thought you said you were native, or you were a Hispanic and you had some native Indian blood in you.
Let me think. No, that's a fine question. I mean, I just don't know. They're like mixed back in history. You know?
Yeah, because
I'm here,
cocaine plant.
and I grew up with that same. Wait, I grew up with. I grew up learning about Thanksgiving, probably kind of like you, and I don't know. That all means more to me. But I might have some of that indigenous malice somewhere back there.
No, I'm talking about your ancestors. They used to use the cocoa plant. I mean, not the cocoa plant, the cocaine plant.
Coca.
It grows natural in Central America, and they used to chew on it like it was like a treat.
True say,
They've
yep,
been
I've
doing
heard
it
of
for
that.
thousands
The
of
coca
years.
plant.
Even the Aztecs used to use it.
I've put maple syrup on the snow and rolled it up. I don't know. Coca plant. What am I, an Inca? What am I, an Inca going up into the Andes Mountains? I got to chew coca now to stay awake in the Andes Mountains? Bro, where I'm from, I poured maple syrup on the snow and I rolled it up and ate it. But anyways, I'm messing around with you. Sir, what's your question or comment?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, of course, we already addressed the corn thing, and it's pretty obvious that it's a perversion of what's natural. But, yeah, we don't need, some woman to tell us that it's unnatural or immoral. It's pretty obvious, any man who isn't, an idiot and understands that. But what do you think about Donald Trump and the way he's dealing with things in 2025 so far? He's attacking some of these countries in Venezuela. Did you know a lot of those countries that he's has been attacking, they are countries that are joining BRICS? Have you heard of BRICS?
I've heard of BRICS. And that's more reason to deal with them. Right?
Yeah, so the somewhat of the concern is if this is like some type of geopolitical strategy to take power away from China and Russia, and then we see what's been going on with the Ukrainians and Putin, it makes you wonder, like, what are their true intentions? Like, are you really trying to stop, the influx of drugs, coming into the United States, or you're just trying to take power away from rivaling
I mean,
powers?
either way, those both sounds like things that I want him to do, though. For the ill and uninformed, if I may borrow a term, for the ill and uninformed, he's dealing with the drugs, and for the informed, he's dealing with our southern geopolitical sphere of influence, which we should not allow BRICS in. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like a genius or an expert when it comes to geopolitical strategies.
Me neither, man.
Or international economics, but it sounds like that's probably the best strategy.
Right, to keep BRICS out of our backyard type deal?
Yeah, but to cover it up as to, the villainize, the people in Central America and South America when your true intentions is geopolitical strategy. I don't know. I don't think that's the right way to go about things.
And why?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of a little scammy, a little like only a dirt baggish. Like I understand you can't be honest and true about everything and stuff like that, and that's like
and why
the
can't you
burden
be?
of being in power. What you say?
You sounded like you give some space and leeway for not totally being honest. Why do you do that? Because you might have a good reason there.
Yes, I think to give full disclosure, I think would be a breach in security for the United States and its well-being.
You're right. Imagine in matters of war, and you're like, "Hey, American people, this is what we're gonna do because we're being transparent," and then BRICS is in the background just taking notes. Like it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's just one reason. I think personally, I mean, I think I find myself the more I learn, it honestly feels like I get inculcated to a new piece of info. Oh, this is how geopolitics works, and I feel like I just arrived yesterday, And I try and have some humility in that, like, I don't have to like it. I don't have to co-sign it, right? Because it feels like this is why it's so deep. Jesse tells us to not take sides. It feels like you have to take a side, but you really don't. I don't have to sit and co-sign it just because I learned about something the government does yesterday. It's like, wow, now do I agree or disagree? Am I okay with it or not? No, but I can show some humility and be like, okay, well, if it's been happening for a while and all these people do it, I don't have to like it and co-sign it, but I can show some space and just make no decision. It's like, that's far more common than what you're talking about. Then it's so, it seems like the way governments operate. So I don't know what to say, And what I mean is they don't go around talking about their next move in the way you're describing. So I don't know if it's fair to just call it scammy. It's just strategic.
Yeah, strategic.
And it's for us. It's in our backyard.
Look at the societal unrest that is caused in the United States, where all of these, Anglo-Saxon people or white people in the United States are villainizing, our Hispanic brothers, and pointing at them and calling them these murderous bad guys that, Trump was painting them as, when the true intentions was always to, get geopolitical power bricks. I mean, why would you?
But that's good.
Why would you paint them in such a bad light?
Paint who in such a bad light?
The Hispanics. That was part of the campaign. Was to talk about how terrible these Latino people are and how you have to get them out of your country because they're illegal and they're criminals. When you know that your true intentions was always geopolitical.
But that's a really weird stretch. You're saying because of his campaign, you're bringing. It's funny because you're bringing up like an old thing. You're bringing up an old shot at Trump. Like, oh, but you called the Mexicans rapists. You're bringing up this old like 2016 thing, and then connecting it to Maduro and Venezuela. It's like, bro, Trump. You said you campaigned on calling these guys rapists, but really all you wanted to do was invade their country. It's like Dennis. Do you see the disconnect here? In the first sentence he's talking about Mexicans, but it's Venezuelans here. That just doesn't make sense. And it's not even true either. That on top of that, it's not even true. He didn't campaign on calling Latino. He didn't campaign on calling Latinos this and that. The things you said. He never said even the thing. He never said any of the things you said so far. And he never campaigned on what? Campaigned on hating Latinos and getting them out. He wants to get rid of illegals. Do you want to get rid of illegals or no?
No, I mean, that's not my concern. I mean, like I said, I'm not an expert on.
Do you support deporting illegals or?
Support, I mean, yeah, I guess it depends on certain instances. If they're violating the law and they get caught, then you gotta go through the.
Is coming in illegally? Is being an illegal in this country fit that criteria?
My concern, being that I'm a black person and a descendant of chattel slavery, my bloodline, my family been here for hundreds of years. Even before a lot of these white folks, including the Trump family. And my concern isn't like
you keep moving to other things, but it's such a loosey-goosey day that I'm allowing it to happen. What's chattel slavery?
Oh, that's what happened in the United States.
Yeah, what's chattel slavery, and how is that different from normal slavery?
Oh, that's when you treat human beings like they're cattle, like animals instead of like human beings.
Say that again?
It's when you treat human beings like animals instead of treating them like human beings. Like a human being.
Right, but how's that different? How's chattel slavery? Can you describe it more for me? I'm still missing it. How's chattel slavery different from slavery?
Regular slavery is regular slavery is more like an indentured servitude, whereas though if I owe you something, then I need to work for you a certain amount of years to pay off my debt. But chattel slavery is when another human being can own you from birth and for an undisclosed amount of time until they've determined that they don't want you anymore. And then
that sounds like slavery, though.
No.
That sounds like
There's
slavery in history all over the world. Indentured servitude was its own thing. But that, and by the way, indentured servitude is just a fancy name because it's like you couldn't leave. You were you had a debt to pay off, so to speak.
No,
so
no.
you
You
couldn't
even
leave.
read about it. You even read about it in the Bible. You know, there was a certain people in the Bible who, you know, I think I want to say one of David's sons or something.
You said
like
chattel
that.
slavery is because they owned them, and the other one they didn't. You couldn't leave in the other one.
You had to be in there for 7 years.
And there was plenty of slaves I read about.
For 7 years.
Okay, so you're describing the slaves in the Bible. Say that one more time for me.
Yeah, you describe it. Yeah, I'm describing the slaves in the Bible, but they weren't owned for life. They were owned for like a certain disclosed amount of time until their
How do you
debt
know
was
that?
paid off.
That's in the Bible? But I read about slaves in the Bible that are just slaves. And they don't say, no, they're indentured servants and they're going to be freed any moment.
I don't know.
That was not clear in the Bible. I don't know where. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, I tell somebody, help us out here. I mean, I've read about slaves in the Bible. I don't think they call them indentured servants. Am I tripping?
That's the reason why they made race, so they can create chattel slavery.
Right, but you're making that up. Like every race, this happened to every race. This all the way in the Bible. You know, weren't those Jews in the Bible slaves or something like that to the Egyptians? They're slaves all over.
Yeah.
That's silliness, man. You're on 2016 era arguments of he campaigned on hating Mexicans. It's time to grow up. You're stuck in the past. What do you mean chattel slavery? That's a classic. That's a classic black term. That's a classic American black thing where you try and say that the things that happened to you and your ancestors were worse than others, and that's not true.
Is the Bible a historical book?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I don't feel smart enough.
Do you follow
I think so. Yes.
Christ?
I think so. Yes.
Do you follow Jesus Christ?
I think so. Yes.
You're stuck in the past.
I know. I'm saying, but let me explain. No, I can tell you how you're stuck in the past, though. Because, for example, chattel slavery, that's a classic term that's like old now. Come on, it's time to grow up. That blacks are still bringing up a term to try and make it sound like, and this is something I've only heard in America, but they try and make it sound like what they went through and their ancestors, and it's never something they went through. It's their ancestors. It's always back in the past. Was worse and different than anybody else. What happened to blacks is unique. That's why you have the little term chattel slavery, and it's time to let go of that. I mean, that's old. That's old. Right now, they're on. What do they say? Do they even say stuff anymore? I feel like the energy has gone way down since Floyd. I mean,
I don't know. That's the name. That's the name it's called. I mean, you can debate it, but you can call up your local historical scholar and debate whether there's a difference between regular slavery or chattel slavery. That's up to you. But you know what I mean. I don't really have that much knowledge on that particular subject to have a deep discussion about you. That's what they called it, and that's what I understand it to be.
Fair. That might be true, man. You know what? Fair enough. May I ask you why you use the term chattel slavery? Why not just say slavery?
Because that's what it was called, chattel slavery.
Well, anyways, that's a silly question to even ask you.
History.
I already know why because you believe it was worse. Whatever happened to blacks was worse. You believe that there's scholars behind it, but
in the book
that's silly.
And read it
because it didn't happen to you.
A lot of historians, scholars, called it that. So,
right, I already heard you say that, but that's a lot of historians, a lot of
decades.
There's a lot of silly people saying silly things, and they call themselves all sorts of things: historians, podcaster. Okay. So anyways, sir, I appreciate your call. I mean, what else? We spent plenty of time here, man. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we move the wheels?
Oh no, that was all I had to say. And then what they got to stop doing in America is downplaying all this stuff that happened to black historical events. I mean, black people they talk about things like Tulsa, Oklahoma, because that was a black historical event, or they talk about the Tuskegee Airmen, or they talk about Martin Luther King and all of these historical events because, it's good to have pride in your culture and who your people are. So why don't y'all just mind your business, you know what I'm saying, and allow black people to enjoy their black history.
Let me ask, what can he? What you're saying? All this history. So then, what's going on today?
I don't know what's going on today.
Yeah, I mean,
when I look out the window.
You brought
I
up
see birds
Tulsa. You
chirping
brought
in
up all
the
this stuff in
sunshine.
history. So then, what is wrong with blacks today? If you wanted to, I mean, you bringing it up. You want to talk about it.
I don't know what's wrong with blacks today, but you tell me.
Well, I mean, look, you're talking about all this stuff in the past. So I want to bring it to reality because we could do that all day. Look at this historian. Look at that. But there's something empty about that. Don't you agree? Can't we say something? There's something, and maybe I don't have the question yet for you, but this is where I'm trying to bring it. This is the direction I'm trying to go. What? Then explain. Then how do we explain the behavior of black people today? What can they do today to be better, etc., have a better life, etc.? That's the direction I'm going.
You talking about all black people
sure.
or some black people?
Well, we could talk about black people in America in a general way. You know, I've met many individuals, and they're all very diverse. But there is an overarching
all black people.
Black mentality, and that's what I'm speaking on. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I can't speak for all black people. I can only speak for individual black people because every person has a unique situation.
So, but can you say in general what's wrong with them today? I mean,
I don't think.
Would you say it's slavery? Would you say, you're saying nothing's wrong with them?
Yeah. What do you think is wrong with them?
I don't know. I think they're pretty angry, right? They got decades of lies in their heads. They pass it down. They go down to their kids. They tell them racism is your problem. You had what were some of the things you were saying? It sounds like some of the things you say, honestly. That Tulsa, Oklahoma BS. You know, and they leave out the part blacks play like, well, it's like they're not people. I see them as people. They're human nature. They could commit evil too. Mutual combat. You bring up Tulsa, if they could build something in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they called Black Wall Street. Why can't they build it today? That's really my question for you.
Oh, why can't blacks build something like Tulsa?
And so, but to finish the first one, I think those things. What's wrong? It's believing those lies and that anger. I mean, and it goes. Not everybody. I've met many individuals, right? But it goes across such a large percentage of the population that it's got such a terrible effect. They're fighting. They're full of ideas. They're full of jealousies and full of stuff, you know. So I think dropping all that, if you ask me what's wrong, but you were about to answer about Tulsa. Why can't they build it today?
What's wrong with Hispanic people?
Same thing. And they got different flavors to it, you know, but it's the same thing. You know, mama runs those households, okay, in the Black and Hispanic households. Mom runs it, dad's weak, and they got the same. They got the younger generations have the same chip on their shoulder of being different, being all these things or whatever. You know, some of that with the youth, you know, it's just a different thing. I don't know. I don't want to be long-winded, but when you break it down, it's the same thing. What's going on with Hispanics, sir? But anyways, Dennis, man, we spent plenty of time here. Can you call me again?
Yeah, sure thing. No problem. Talk to you later.
Yeah,
have a great have a great
Thanksgiving. Amazing. Call me again.
All right, later on.
Okay, look. Appreciate it, chat. We're taking it easy. We're trying to take it easy. Maybe a little too easy. A lot of back and forth. What's your question? Happy Thanksgiving. Okay. Enough with the colonialism. Oh my gosh. That's still going on. It must be just from being on the internet or something. You hear these topics over the years. You think everybody's over it, but it's just not true. Literally everybody is still into this stuff. It's a colonialist America. Thanksgiving is a settler holiday, some crap. I'm like, isn't that yesterday's news? No, people still think like that. That's why the country's like having this moment still. Amazing. Let me see here. I want to get to other things. I want to get to more calls. You guys are calling me 888-775-3773. What are you guys saying in the chat? Yeah, Dennis is cool. Dennis is cool. I'm saying I could be more pointed. We just went here. We went everywhere. I like Dennis, though. What are y'all saying in the chat? Calling psychic hotlines? I've never done that. I don't know how you guys could run up your parents' credit card bills on stuff. I grew up in the world of two-factor, or I don't know. I guess you could do that. It's not that hard. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Where are you guys doing? Let me see. Calls. How about we do this? William, California, you're on the air.
Hey, Nick. So, what is it about bad things that happened to black people in the past that they can't let go? What do they get out of pointing these things out?
Man, that's a fine question.
Is there a payday?
It's a little bit of this and that, but it's all like just dark ego, self-serving, something like that. But people have different motivations, I think. Let me impress people. I was taught this. I'm supposed to think this way. I'm really actually angry, and let me take it out on this and blame this for my problems. I think it's a little bit of this and that.
You sure like to hold on to it, don't they?
Yep. That's the word, I think. That's the term. Holding on to it.
Just my whole thing is that what has it done for them? It's the same stories. And a lot of it is staged. Just like Emmett Till's mother opening up that casket on purpose, listening to them civil rights people. That's horrible.
She went and opened up the casket. This is something that happened with her?
Remember when he got beat up to death? They keep bringing up, they keep bringing up Emmett Till. It's like their yearly thing. They want to talk about him. Yeah, so his mother opened the casket, had the casket open. And, he was beat to death. And it's like, why would your mother want to let the world see you like that?
Drama.
It's like you enjoy it.
That's an interesting observation. It's a thrill.
Yeah. It's like, I don't think my mother would let nobody see me like that. Oh, no, closed casket. Get that.
But when you have a vendetta, when you have a movement, when you have all that goes to the wayside, sacrifice all that.
Yeah, she did that. I think with the advice of the civil rights movement, it was starting to heat up at that time. And they seen an opportunity to make it something that it really wasn't. Just like they said, George Floyd's death had nothing to do with race, and they tore up the whole country based on race.
You are so right, man. Think about it. We can summarize it better. You asked a great question. Why do they hold on to it? Like, it really is a spiritual battle, man. It's like the devil convinces people, blame others.
Why keep bringing it up? Yeah, why keep bringing it up when, especially that stupid Oklahoma story, it seems like they want it remodeled for the second or third time. It's like, come on. And, there were blacks that helped burn that stuff down, too. So did Watts in Chicago, Detroit. There were blacks that was burning that property down. Seattle, what's that? George Floyd, they really burned that down. A lot of these towns, these events, this be blacks doing this to their own property. L.A. riots, Rodney King, blacks, they burned it.
Wow, we've seen that. We're seeing it today. Why
the 68? What was it? 68 or 67 riots in Watts, and then they did the Rodney King one. Both times those were black. Burned black, not built black. Burned black.
And they changed the name on the Tulsa race thing. They call it a massacre now. It was a riot before. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. I mean, it could just very well be the blacks rioted and burnt down their own stuff, like they do today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like this guy that just said. He said, "What about the blacks? What's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? What's right with them?"
Oh yeah, I'm following.
Yeah. I don't know. I just be wanting to know. You know, they bringing up the same historical facts over and over every 2 weeks. Seems like same events.
Wow.
I'd just like to know, what are you getting out of it? Is there an economic gain by knowing these things? You're teaching your kids that every generation, same old story. But, you know, we wasn't the only people.
Absolvement, you absolve yourself. You're like, okay, look at my standards, look at my world, my economic standards, whatever. Let me just blame somebody else. I don't have to actually do anything. It's spiritual. Let me absolve myself, make myself feel better, blame others, get a thrill from going after people.
Uh-huh. And nobody is more racist in America right now than the blacks. Nobody. Not even close.
That's fair to say.
You disagree?
It's like not even close.
It's not even close. The most racist. It's always,
and it really is hatred, right? When you really get down to it, they got a nasty. It's just like, it's not logical. There's no rhyme or reason. It's like, I'm a crappy person because I'm mad, and I'm just gonna be crappy to you and crappy to the world, and to myself.
Well, look, man, I have a lot of humor with mine because I laugh at it. It's hilarious. I'm harder on them because I am black, and it be cracking me up. You know, you just chimping. That's the new slang in the Bay Area.
You seen
chimping.
that? I seen that.
Chimping, like chimpanzee. You know,
Chimping out.
Just chimping. You chimping out. You chimping. Ain't nobody doing nothing to nobody. Unless you're looking for it. Ain't nobody doing nothing to black people. And they're not taking over either. They can't take over. They can't even get their own communities together. They can't take over this country. Just chimping. Sir. And then when it don't come out right, they want to bring up an old event like Emmett Till. What about him? Dead. He dead. Well, I'm gonna let you go make some other callers, bro.
Yeah, for sure. We'll call me
again. I
hope
that makes some sense. I hope that makes sense to you. You know, it's like, what do you guys get out of this?
Identity. Yeah. Hake says, and I think that's a great answer. Yeah, you get to hold on to an identity. You get to build it up. You get to use it to make yourself feel better, protect yourself, make yourself sleep at night. You get to build up an identity, even if it's not money, if it's not something else. Yeah, that's a great answer, William. Man, thank you for your call. Call me again.
All right, take care.
Bye. And it's actually a really good topic because if you had any, we talk about love. Yeah, I'm a Christian. I have love. You gotta love people. You gotta be good. You gotta be a good person. You gotta be nice to people. This is love right here. This is at the crossroads of those very same topics of love and hate and hell and heaven. Black people believing lies, the world just being okay with it. And it's like you could just better yourself, right? Just as an individual, but you're stuck in this prison of the mind, emotions. That's why this is important. That's why this is an interesting topic. It's at the crossroads of all those very things. But where was we? Thank you, someone with the coffees. Buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. Always very generous. Thank you for that. Jim in Alaska, man. Thank you. Was this today? This was today. Appreciate the super chat. Says, happy Thanksgiving back at you, Jim, and everybody in the chat, obviously. Jim the True. Let me see. What are you saying in the chat? I'm trying to keep up. Thank you for that, buddy. Right on, Rimfire. Incredible. Moving on here. Let's see. Moving on. Let's run it down the list. Oh, yeah. Check this out now. We never got a chance to do this one, but you might have already seen it on the JLP show. The Christians versus the Muslims. And we never got a chance to check out the footage for ourselves. But I'll tell you, I saw some of it already. And this is what I was saying yesterday. I think some of you were not happy with me calling these guys psycho. Just totally psycho. And now the story goes, these students were praying. And I don't know if these other guys were students as well, but they were mocked and shouted at. Those people are been arrested for a hate crime. People are saying blasphemy laws. I've not seen such reports. Okay, they're calling it a hate crime over there in Florida. And these guys are shouting at these Muslims praying, and it was a whole thing. Okay, this is one angle, and this is what I was saying. You guys got to see I'm supporting Muslims, they were saying. I mean, I got friends. I mean, look, whatever. Check this out.
It's really good. Bacon? Anybody? Under the new rules from the Trophy Mom, you can eat bacon. It's halal. You can eat bacon whenever you want.
It's halal.
God
He's tricking them. That's pretty nasty. Imagine you're like, just imagine for a moment you're like, we're going to protest these people. I know. Let's trick them with their God. Like, no. Muhammad said it's halal. Like, just consider for a moment. Either you don't believe. Like, there's only a couple things you could be doing there. You're like, I'm a Christian and I believe in the spiritual world and gods and all, and God and demons and stuff. But their setup is silly, and that's why I'm pranking them on it. Or you believe, like, at the very least, you must know it's like they believe that they'll go to hell. And I'm basically saying, right, I got a ticket to hell dressed up as a little bit of bacon, and I'm going, Muhammad said it's cool. It's kind of, that's not the psycho part either, too, but I just thought that was, like, how, there's not many ways to slice that, okay? I know it's just a silly prank, but he's basically saying, hey, guys, Muhammad said this is cool. You're not going to go to hell. It is it's like when bro says, when they prank you, it's like when friends say it's just a prank. This is the prank. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, with friends like these, who needs enemies? Like,
you're praying to a man who's burning in hell. He married a 9-year-old girl, and you're going to, Muhammad, I spit on the grave of Muhammad.
Gross,
Muhammad is in hell. You're going to burn in hell. You need to repent. You need to get saved and set free. Jesus Christ is coming soon. Take that towel off of your head. Take that towel off your head. You need to repent.
This guy's psycho.
You need to repent. Repent, you child of the devil.
Repent, you child of the devil. Honestly, this turned psycho way back over here. This was honestly, it's psycho that these people are even going up to these people. Doing what? They're praying. Hey, we're Christians. We're going to. And what's their vibe, by the way? It's like, you guys got to get it together here. Buddy on the left here is in a costume, and he's like pranking them. He's like, hey, Muhammad said it's cool. You can eat bacon. And then buddy on the right is, I don't know, his vibe is like, he's like tough cop. He's like, you're going to hell and you need to repent. One is like pranking, like a skit, and like, I don't know, the vibe. It's like, I don't know what their vibe is. It's already psycho they came out, but this is where it really turns psycho. Now, even when over here, when he's in his face saying repent, take the towel off, way back here, he gets in their face. You can't get in people's faces like that. He gets in their face, says, you're going to hell. You're going to hell.
Commands you to repent. Muhammad is a pedophile. You're praying to a man who's burning in hell. He married a 9-year-old girl, and you're going to, Muhammad?
Wait, after this
I
part.
Spit.
Okay. All right, buddy.
Muhammad is in hell. You're going to burn in hell. You need to repent. You need to
Right
get
here.
saved.
You can't get in people's faces like that. This guy should have been decentralized right away, which I think is cop for get out of my face. You know, you're on the ground now in a safe manner, you know, only if you like touch, right? He's in your, look, yeah. What are you supposed to just, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not a cop. I'm not a legal expert. And I don't want violence, but it's like, what, you suppose someone's allowed to just get in your face aggressively? Well, I don't know what this person is violently yelling at me, finger right up to me. Oh, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you, though. I'm not touching you. I don't think that's how that works. Okay. I'm not touching you. It's like, you're being quite aggressive. I wouldn't allow that. The next thing could be an aggression. I'd walk away, get away, but you understand what I'm saying here? That's psycho. That's absolutely psycho. And then you see how they go around being able to say, I was attacked for being a Muslim. And that's why we need hate crime laws. This is not the fight. These guys are clowns. This is not the fight. And I almost want to say they deserve it all. I don't think they should hate crimes and all that. This is not a hate crime. I don't know where this was exactly. Was it public? Are you on the street just praying? I guess you can invite such things. It's free speech and all that. But I almost want to say they deserve it because, look, you should know now that these hate crime laws exist. And it was some weakness that happened before and / a criminal, just an absolute criminal act from the leaders of your country. Okay? I understand it. An absolute criminal act. They've allowed all this. Letting them in. They lie to you, tell you what. If you knew, you would have voted. There were props in California for these things, and they just went against it. You should know now the rules of the game. You should know now this is ridiculous. You're going to get in jail for this. You're going to get hit with hate crime laws for this. You should know that the white man is hated in America right now. And then this is not going to change anything. The crime had already happened. They were already let in, okay? And look, they'll play the crying game. You know, it's like
while we're in the middle of
when
our
they're minorities, when they're like, oh, we're just protect us. Now that they're majority, they start outnumbering people. It's just barbs out, just militant, just tears right away, hate crime them right away, for the littlest thing, a joke, bacon. Hate crime right away. No leeway, no charity. It's just, this is our country now.
Again,
we're going to cry. We're going to say we're being hurt.
When I was reached out by families and loved ones, I had to relive the whole...
And it's like, hey, yeah, this is a hate crime, and by the way, hate crimes only happen when white people act and say what they want to say, and use their free speech or whatever. It'll never happen the other way. Welcome to the new country, right? That's what I'm getting at about the militants of their behavior. That being said, right? They should know this. They should know this, and in that sense, that's why they deserve it. They should know that they're hated in this country, that the crime already happened. And this is not a way of dealing with this. It's not even fighting back. This is doing nothing. And their style is silly. Bad cop, good cop. You guys weren't doing anything. Just yelling and getting mad. Showing how very unchristian you are. Repent. You're going to hell. And I'm going to get in their face. You're crazy. You're crazy. And I don't want violence and all that, but he should have been... someone might take... I could see a situation where he gets taken down, like tackled or something, like, hey, get out of my friend's face. Were you about to attack him or something? I'm going to have to call the cops or something. Like, that's how he was acting. And then they get to go, right. And then finally, let me just say it once more. Tying it up for a bow, just for myself, is they get to play the victim, right? And now everybody's participating in evil. But Nick, I'm right. Islam shouldn't be here. But you went off and acted like this, and they're going to take more because they get to play the victim now. So anyways, that wasn't even a real, like I said, like I just finished saying, they kind of brought it on themselves, those guys. That's not even a real white man it's a crime to be white. This one was recent. Now I'm going down the list. This is one we didn't get to talk about either. Earlier, it was really now like a month ago. But this Ian Cranston, you guys remember this one? I feel like I remember seeing a Hake Report touch on this a while ago when this came out. And there's been an update. This guy's been in jail for years. Okay, take it in. And it was over an altercation at a bar some years ago now. Now, the story goes, this black guy comes up to them drunk. That's what they say. Let me pull this up. Hits on this woman here. She's either set to marry or married to him. And they tell him to, not interested. This turns into a fight where this individual, Barry Washington Jr., attacks this Cranston guy. Smashes him in the face, leaves him with all sorts of bruises on his face. You see it in the like police intake photos and all that. And his bruised up face from the attack. And the story goes that he took out a gun and shot him in self-defense. This Ian Cranston fella, there he is with that messed up eye, and they were saying he shouldn't have. It was all sorts of outcry. I sort of remember this image. I feel like Hake reported on this. And it was like murder. They're trying to hit him with murder. He ended up getting like manslaughter or something like that. Right. Remember, he gets attacked by this guy. He doesn't know what's going to happen. He's attacking him, smashing him in the face. What's next? Is he going to try and kill him? So he shoots him. And this judge, female judge, hits him with prison. Now the update. And this 3 years later, they reversed his conviction. The Oregon Court of Appeals has reversed the conviction of Ian Cranston in the 2021 shooting of Barry Washington Jr. outside a downtown Bend nightclub. Court said the judge in the trial did not instruct the jury that Cranston was not required to retreat in self-defense under Oregon law, and that it likely affected the verdict. She never said that. And so the jury was deciding on this with not all the info. He and as you just heard, under the law, he was not required. He was allowed to defend himself. He didn't have to retreat. And I forget the details, honestly. I don't know if there was some instance where Washington Jr. was like walking away. I don't remember any such description. So, and I bring that up because part of this Judge Alice Beth Bagley, forget her name fully. Hold on. Yeah. Bagley here. This judge, they went from murder to manslaughter, and in her reasoning, she says, because he was asked if he would essentially do it again, right? Defend himself in that way. He basically says yes. And she gives a statement on that when she's handed down this manslaughter thing on him, and I think it was 10 years. 10 years of jail, of prison, or jail or whatever. And she says, I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to do it differently. And I'm paraphrasing a little bit. It was something like this. I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to do it differently looking back. Because many people many people lose in these situations, some more than others. You know, she's talking about how some people died. You were hit in the face, but some people died here. And families lost somebody. Somebody lost their brother, their son. And I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to do it differently. Like, think about a judge even thinking like that. This person was attacked. Some random skid, some random drunk skid hitting on your wife. You're like, move on, buddy. Like, she's taken. She's telling you no. And he attacks you, smashes you in the face. Like, is this guy going to kill me? I don't know what's going to have a gun on me. I'm going to defend myself. It goes fast. These things happen fast. And this judge is like, you should have done it different. You should have shot him in the leg. You should have had a stun gun instead of a gun. She didn't say any of this, but you understand the thinking here, the mentality. I don't know. You should have ran away. These people are outside of reality. These people are completely outside of reality. Would never be in a situation like that. Has security or something. I don't know. A husband. And they don't go to clubs, maybe. I don't know. And that's not how you defend yourself. That's not even how you defend yourself. People in the chat are asking, is it her job to say that? I don't even know anymore. Our institutions, Lady Justice. Let me think. I think they're supposed to just like interpret the law and enforce it or whatever, or just like they're supposed to judge the law, right? They're supposed to judge the people accused of crimes. I mean, I think it is normal for judges to give a little bit of like opinion. I think that is normal. I don't know how normal. Maybe it's a modern world thing. I don't know. But the commentary tells you what she's thinking. These activist female judges, they feel like the world is, they have this weird, they just have the wrong view of the world. Like, these people, they just need another chance. Like, they didn't forfeit their right to live by attacking you. So I'm supposed to just give up my life because other people are mentally ill and they need another chance. I don't want people to die. I don't want violence. I want to avoid such situations as much as possible. But this woman is judging from a fantasy in her head. And that's how women judge, okay? No women judges, okay? You can stretch that to all of them, basically. It's not even their place. Over men? So anyways. It's just like, what? It's like insane-o, upside-down world. That one was like last month. Letting you guys know there, the update on that one. Pretty interesting. That he was even in jail like that. 3 years. And why? Because he's white. Okay, I know this. The other one with the hate crime against the Muslims. Like, yeah, sure, hate crimes. Those laws shouldn't even be there. But this is a real story in that genre. This guy was in jail for being white, and he shot a black man. And you just, even if you're justified in a sense, you were defending yourself, etc. Oops, wrong color. You're the wrong color. So that was one we were running it down the list there. That was one we never got to. Well, two of them that we never got to.
While we're in the middle of our worship, they're screaming in our faces that Jesus is Lord.
Oh my gosh, that's the real crime. No, I'm joking. They're like, how are you going to scream and say Jesus is Lord? Christians in the chat right now are like, based? Okay, actually, I've justified. That's totally justified. That's their free speech. Christians in the chat right now, totally foregoing, acting like a decent Christian.
Walked close to our heads while we entered the bowing position, so close that we genuinely had a fear that they weren't going to stomp on our heads.
They should not.
They pushed cameras inches from our faces, which you can see from the live streams. All
right, I had to waterworks. Come on.
I had to relive the whole.
And these people are good. Is some of that taquilla? Is some of that taquilla? Is that some of that taquilla? I think that's some of that taquilla. Whatever. So shout out to that. That guy's getting that whole thing overturned. That was like years in jail. Moving on. That's enough out of that one. Closing all these links. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying here. What are you saying? Because we can finish with all that. I don't think we can do this story. Hold on.
On X was...
It's far too vulgar, I think. It's far too vulgar. They turned on location on X, and now you can see all these accounts. You can see where they're posting from. And you get like Base Patriot 64. You know, writing some stuff that's making people trip, and they're like based in India, based in Africa somewhere. And it's every other account. And they all have like propaganda. They're pushing all sorts of stuff. They're pushing porn. They're pushing all sorts of messed up things. They're pushing race mixing and like they're pushing all this stuff. And it's like based patriot mom, based patriot Christian mom. And she's sharing some of this dirty stuff. Has like slowly socially engineered their Christian circle. Now they're talking about like sex and all this stuff. Now the locations are open and you're seeing account based in India, Africa, some other country. It's like, and think about it. You heard about this, and you hear about it, and you're like, that's just conspiracy. I mean, maybe. And then we get like real world examples of and people that don't, whether groups or individuals that don't like us, don't like America, white people, etc. There's a number of categories there, okay? And what do they push on the people they hate? Pornography. It's like, wait, so it is a propaganda campaign to weaken your enemies? So it is. So, okay, so that stuff is a weapon of sorts. You know what I mean? Like, so enemies do know that pushing this, you know, just, again, that pushing this would like make you weak in a sense, if I may be crude. Let's see it. You guys want to see what? I can't show you this. These are like pornography accounts. South Asia, pushing interracial stuff, and whites don't get married. Defeated white people, another account. Submissive white people. Be submissive to minorities. Another porn account. I can't even show you this. And it keeps showing where they're based. It's like South Asia. Okay. India, Mexico, India, Israel, India, Chile, Turkey, South Asia, Philippines. And man, these accounts do not like, they're very hostile. They don't like America. It's so nasty. And they know it's a weapon. Push it on the people you don't like. Make them fear. Make them think their women don't want them. And all this other stuff. All this stuff. So X, that's been interesting the past few days. You can see where people are posting from. Fascinating. Now what's this? I just have a link here. I wrote down stealing is resourceful, not a crime. And I have a link. What fresh hell is this? What did I save here? I think I kind of remember this. People are sharing that post about South Asian Izzat. Remember this? We talked about Izzat yesterday. Oh, yeah. It's just being like a bad person.
There's a
whoa. It's just being a bad person. And I think I saved this link. Because people have creative thoughts, right? Creative notions of a silly thing we call morality, society. They're very creative.
Personally, I don't look at a crime.
Why is it coming in crazy loud like that? Jeez.
If you're going into Target, a multi-billion-dollar company, and stealing clothes, it's not a crime. You're resourceful.
Not a crime?
Hell no. You're resourceful as You're homeless.
That's where we disagree, I think.
You've been displaced. I mean, because you're white and I'm black. There's a whole nother.
Is this old? I feel like it's this BLM George Floyd riots talk. People still talking like this?
Socioeconomical piece that I have never had access to. So you can go into any single place and put your name on a piece of paper, apply for that job. You're not worried about if
I feel like these people got laughed out of the conversation. Is that just me?
your name sounds too black. You're not worried about if when you show up, if you got to do something with your locks because it's inappropriate. Target enslaved my ancestors a year ago.
Target?
Target.
What did Target do?
If we really want to break down every single system that has truly impoverished our community, enslaved us, taken money from our families, and then displaced us as if now we're the burden to this entire city that was once 40% black.
Sure. But what did Target do, and at what point do we not uphold any values when we lead to...
At what point do we not uphold Target to then give back all of their funds that they can easily give back?
But if we steal from Target, then we steal
No, that
from
was a
CVS,
good question, man.
From...
She sort of stuck to it. At what point, right, at what point is like, are you just supposed to just be a good person?
Walmart, then the Walmart's leave, and then all we have...
But we built
But she's telling you, Ryan, you want to debate. There's no debate. She's telling you, man. She's telling you, F your rules. F being a good person. That's a white thing. That's a made-up thing. You guys made that up. We're taking the stuff from Target. You know, it really is anger. It's hatred. They think it makes sense. But some of us are choosing to stay. Even if we don't get it, even if we're like mad, but we're like, our life is, we're not gonna completely throw it away. Like, Nick, I'm this, they're that culture. It's like, no, you grew up with the same Thanksgiving I did. You want to throw it away so easily? And these values, right? And start adopting what you want to. This is your options. These are your options. It's like, okay, let me just be like a tribal. Let me take. Those are your options, right? And she's telling you clearly what she wants to do. She's like, F your rules.
Then we steal from CVS, then we steal from Walmart, then the Walmart's leave, and then all we have...
But we built it.
No, but then all we have are corner stores in Oakland when we run out all these large businesses, right?
Our corner
This is tired. Who is this? Like some person on the street?
stores are mom and pop's own. They're black and brown owned. We don't steal from our corner stores. That's the crazy part.
Security footage shows a man walking into Ideal Market in Oakland and seconds later ripping out the store's ATM. It happened around 10 p.m. Thursday night while the store was still open with an employee inside.
I don't know what that's about, but anyways. We've heard this one. I mean, whatever. It's reparations or whatever. That's why this one didn't make the cut. You can see why it didn't make the cut. I mean, we've seen this one. That's a tired old argument. But people, it's worth maybe doing a man on the street or something because people still think that way. But for us here, I mean, just a way of we know what that is. We know what that is. Let me just justify stealing. That one's a clear one. That's an easy one. Let me justify stealing and looting. Okay, this one was another one I saved. This Las Vegas shooting, okay? You hear about this one? It looks like a 20-year-old, 22-year-old, I think is a white guy, kills like a little kid, an 11-year-old kid. By accident, he was shooting at the father. It was an accident. I meant to kill your dad. But I don't know what he meant. It sounded like it looked like he was pretty mad because it was a road rage exchange. And I don't know what he did to make them Iggas so mad, though. But it turned into where this guy shot at the father. But the bullet ended up hitting his 11-year-old kid that was in the back seat. And they're tripping out here. And the comments are like, wow, this is just America's racism on display. You see how they treat the Mexican dad, telling him to calm down. His kid just died. And then how cordial they are with the white guy here, the 20-year-old guy who killed a child. This is racist America on display. That's what they're saying.
You're killing your kid?
Officer,
He's dead?
Why?
I shot at him, bro. I didn't know.
Shot at him?
I didn't know there was a fucking kid in the back. And I showed
Roll medical.
I fucking
In the unit. Hang on.
This guy's just like, right? He's just in, I don't know, shock. It's like, I shot at him. Like, that's just what happened. So that made it, I mean, what else do you say at that point? I guess he's just like, yeah, putting his hands behind his back. Arrest me.
Came up around the side, like on the merge, you know, where what's the one that takes you northbound, eastbound over there?
Where's he going at right now?
It's in the car on the passenger side. It's on
I gotta figure everything out.
Yeah, no, it's 100% my fault. I shot at him, dude. I didn't even know he had a kid in the car.
He didn't even know he had a kid in the car. He was mad. It's crazy. I'm mad. You don't have no clue what anger will make you do. You think it's cool just having a little anger. But, yeah, it's a little crazy, right? But what I want to just summarize for you, because you might not be able to hear, it sounded like this, according to him, the Dominguez, the father, the Mexican guy over there, was driving up the median, as he said, right? He kind of drove up to meet him. I don't know what exchange happened before that caused this to happen and get so angry, but this guy got onto it sounded like the Mexican dad got up onto some divide or median area, not where you're supposed to drive, but to get up to him.
Got in control. There's a kid shot in the back seat. Notify supervisors and stuff. Hey, bro. I'm so sorry. Do you have your ID? Okay. Just. I'm going to school. Take a minute when you get a chance. I need your ID. I'm so sorry. Okay, we'll get this all taken care of. Whose car is this? Do you mind having a seat in your car with him and just chilling?
I'm in my car.
Oh, okay.
Get the fuck out of here.
No,
he sounds pretty mad.
He's a witness. Shut your mouth, sir. I understand you're upset. I can't even imagine what this will be.
That's what some people in the comments, they're pretty unhappy that the officer told this guy to shut his mouth. I understand right? I understand it sounded like he was about to go into it, like your kid's dead and all that, but shut your mouth. I don't know, officer's trying to make this all work, he's got to run papers, he's got to do this and that.
Oh, okay.
I think what he's mad at is that this person who shot his kid's family, either passengers that were in the car with him at the moment or people who came after, he's saying, like, get the F out of here or something. So it's pretty disruptive.
No, he has to stay. He's a witness. Shut your mouth, sir. I understand you're upset. I can't even imagine what this will be.
Shut your mouth. They're saying it's racist. Look, isn't that funny? It's a matter of attitude. Even if you kill a child, that's not good. I obviously don't support that. It's terrible this happened. Anger destroying lives. Check it out. Case Exhibit A. Anger destroying lives. And you just thought it was a little road rage. Let me wave my gun. You know what? Let me pop off one. You know what? This will show him. This will show him. He'll drive up to the median, yell at me. Let me pop one off. Kid's dead. So it's anger destroying lives. I don't support that. But look, even if you kill a child, your attitude in dealing with the cops and just people in general, you could be, if your whole family died, but if while the cop is trying to do paperwork, you're like making some really annoying sound, you're crying or something, but for some reason it just comes out terrible, like high pitch, just annoying. That person's gonna is gonna get irritated. You understand? It's an awareness thing. It's just people there. It's because they're unaware and they're getting irritated by your sounds, but that's just how it is. So, right? It's a matter of attitude. Look, the cops are talking to him, the guy, because he's silent. He's saying, yep, I did it. What do you need me to do? Etc. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just obvious, right? But it's a funny one. I mean, it's just true. It's just true in this time. But his kid is dead. I mean, see, that doesn't matter. This could be a lesson, I guess, maybe. One thing I've heard before about terrible situations, like, yes, everyone agrees you should be calm and you should like take it easy. But what about when your kid dies or something really, really terrible happens? That's still not an excuse. You can understand that things happen, but isn't it? Aren't those the times when you're needed the most to be perfect? Those are those moments when you need to be perfect more than ever. Just a side note, I guess. Look, Las Vegas, this happened over there. Road rage. There's nothing more on this, I think.
Why?
It really does sound like the father here was. This kid doesn't deserve to die, but look, it sounded like the father was getting into it too. Riding up on some median. I don't know what kicked it off. But there may have even been escalations. It sounded like an escalation from the father there. It should be a lesson on him too, because if he did escalate, drive up on some median, try and get up in his face, that would have been his anger. And he would have played a part in the death of his child. Ain't that crazy? Anyways. In other news we have not gotten to this week, I think what came down this week, Derek Chauvin. Let me see here. Derek Chauvin, I think, came down this week. Breaking, Derek Chauvin's attorney files new petition, says prosecution can only run from the truth for so long, alleging prosecutorial misconduct. More than 50 former and current officers have provided sworn declarations stating that the techniques used by Derek Chauvin and other Minneapolis police officers involved in the arrest of George Floyd was part of MPD training. You know, that one was controversial. The knee on the neck. They're saying it's... I remember videos coming out saying, but wait, these are training videos of MPD. I mean, they're saying now they got 50 sworn officers, I think former and current officers. They're all saying, yeah, we were trained on this. Why is he in jail? This stands on this improper use of technique that resulted in death. If that's really the case here, how come no one's talking about that this is what he was allowed to and trained to do? I know this is, and you hear this and you're like, Nick, I've heard this. Because this is kind of old news. The defense tried bringing this up originally. But anyways, I mean, it's worth bringing up again. This is like, remember, these people are like years in jail, like that Ian Cranston guy. And can you really say they deserved it? I mean, in Ian Cranston's case, it was overturned years later. So it's wild that they are in jail. Okay? A racial retribution. You want to talk about people in jail because of just race, Nick. They're just snatching up blacks out of the street, throwing them in jail. This is like a racial retribution here. Oh, look at the racism in his eyes, and they threw him in jail for... And this guy was like, hi. Right, you guys know all this. Anyways. But I think that came down this week. Yeah, November... It says November 21st, Friday. Maybe it was over the weekend. Maybe it was Friday. Not sure what will come down with down that. Derek Chauvin. Yeah, that's pretty much it on that. It's the 50 officers saying that, hey, we're signing this petition. It was all cool. Why'd you go after him? Those are all those. Let me see what y'all are saying here in the last few minutes of the show. Man, thank you so much, Derek Lux. Appreciate the Rumble rant over on Rumble with the generosity. Always a pleasure, man. Thank you so much. Says happy Thanksgiving to those of Bond from Derek in Detroit. Nashville. Like how you use names in marriage. Is that how you're using that? Do you use nay? Is it nay? I think it's nay. For where you used to live? Derek in Detroit, nay, Nashville. Wishing you well. Man, back at you, Derek. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. A big Thanksgiving back at you, Jim, Terry. Appreciate all the support, everybody. That's awesome. Someone, I'd already said you over there at buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. Big Thanksgivings from the super chats. Very nice. Back at you and the chat in the last few minutes. Man, I want some cranberry sauce. Who's craving the cranberry sauce? And I think I got some. I'm like actually craving it. And I don't know if I don't really crave things. Or I'm a man. I don't crave things. I never crave anything. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. It's just funny. No, I crave things, sure, but I just can't think of the last time I like, I'm craving some, I'm craving this or that dish. But you know, some Thanksgiving grub is starting to sound good, huh? We're getting close, folks. Bro craving that maple syrup. We need maple syrup pancakes. Gotta love it. Okay, you know what? Sugar Shacks. This is a Canadian thing for you. Sugar Shack. Hit up a Sugar Shack and you're like, Canadian breakfast. What's that? Canadian culture. That's literally doesn't exist. No. It's like almost, there's something French about it. I don't know. It's very classic. It's got the sausage, bacon. You're familiar with it, but they got the Canadian bacon on the plate. Pea meal. Some people are not cool with pea meal. They're like, nah. But I don't know. Call me Canadian. I like it. And so pea meal and pate. That's one you may not have in an American breakfast table. Okay. Pate. Wait, let me see. Pate, Canadian Sugar Shack. Sugar Shack. Oh, look. Is this? Oh, yeah. This looks like one of those Canadian Sugar Shacks breakfasts. Look, I'm not making it up. The traditional French Canadian Sugar Shack meal. What's it all about? Anyways, Thanksgiving already happened over there, though. Canadian bacon's aight. You know, I wasn't making it up. Look, I know I have indigenous malice in me. I'm not denying that, okay? It's biologic. I don't know. I'm not denying it. But this is where you get this maple syrup. You spread it on the snow and you roll it up on a stick. There she is. Look. That's the maple syrup on a stick. Yeah. Ain't no quinceañeras in my... I'm butchering the thing Jesse says, but you get it. All right, folks. We had a little fun. Oops. But we're coming to a close on this Thanksgiving Eve. Okay. Nick gonna pour the Cuban black beans over the ham. Call it genetics. I love those black beans. I freaking love those black beans. Black beans and rice. That's what I give my cats, Nit. I think pate. It's French, Kevin. You guys are craving the canned kind of cranberry sauce. Some people will stipulate that's very important. It's got to be the canned. It's got to be the canned sauce. On this fine Thanksgiving Eve, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'll see you Friday for some Friday Bonanza Extravaganza. I think we're off, though. The office is closed tomorrow, Friday. JLP show's on tomorrow. Other than that, though, take care for now. Thanks for all the support. Let me see here. That's everything, folks. Thanks for all the support. Take care. And see ya around. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.
The views, information, thoughts, and opinions expressed during this show are the individual's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the JLP Network or Bond. Their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. The material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. The JLP Network and Bond name and all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owner, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service.